And good evening. Welcome to the September Recreation Commissioners meeting. I'd like to start off by recording a message on our recording. This meeting will be replayed via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It may also be accessed via the Government Access Channel live video on-demand archives on the Town of Barnstable's website. I'd like to start off with a roll call. Tony LaPala,
I'm here, thank you.
and that is the only other Recreation Commissioner other than myself, Renee King, currently present. I'd like to hold on an act for a vote for the minutes. We don't have enough members currently in the meeting, so we will either do that later or hold that for our next meeting, which will be in November. We have no old business, so we'll jump right into new business with an update on the open space activity in our town. Tony?
Thanks, Renee. I think Renee, you were at a meeting, and John, you are pretty aware. I'm sure, Mark, you are to some degree involved with this. So I'll try to do a quick overview of what I did not attend the meeting, but they did video it, and I did watch the meeting. So my comments will come from that. I have had a series of emails with it's being done by the Planning and Development Committee of the town. They're working with some consultants to do this. Apparently, this is something that happens every 7 years that the town must do, and they're updating their plan that gives I guess, the town council guidance of where things go. It is something that the state also apparently mandates that we do every 7 years. So we're in that sweet spot, so to speak, with that. They talk about setting community values and priorities of what has happened. They gave an example of what happens as a result of this for in Barnstable, that the greening and the Gateway project was funded through this process, and apparently $1.8 million to plant trees in downtown Hyannis on public and private property. So there are some things that happen. There was a lot of information given about the purpose of health and wellness, etc. They did speak for a little bit of time about the survey they gave to the community, and I'll just give you some highlights from what I heard. Apparently, there were 293 respondents to the survey, and some highlights that they mentioned in regards to this were that the Marston Mills pickleball courts were the most used, that 15% of the respondents did use those, that the Craigville and Dowsers Beach were the most visited beaches, that the top 5 activities in order were hiking and walking, swimming in the beaches, dog walking, non-motorized boating, community and recreation events. Those were the most activities that they mentioned. They talked about unmet needs through the survey, and they mentioned these as the top 4. Nature trails was 1, bike trails, indoor swimming, and playgrounds were the 4 that mentioned unmet needs. They talk about the where priorities of recreation spending, that this came again coming from the survey, expanding walking and network and bicycle lanes, and also creating more and wider sidewalks that linked open space areas together were that. They talked about, expressed that the public liked much of what the recreation department is doing. They talked about the needs to continue update. John mentioned this earlier on, is that what they're doing now is gathering information through the consultants and through the survey. They're doing stakeholder meetings. John mentioned one. I couldn't be there on Tuesday, but I did give my input through an email to the group, so they have my comments. John also mentioned the fact that the next meeting would be to present a draft in sometime in October, And I got an email today. I asked them if they knew the date of that. They had not yet set the date for the October meeting, but it would be a public meeting and they would get that information out as soon as possible. And that the final presentation of the program would be in December. That's what they had. I don't know that that could be November, but they did speak to December. They've been very when I've asked them questions or I send them an email, they've been very responsive to my information and to my questions. So I guess at this point, I know that Renee, you were there, and John, you've been intricately involved. Mark, I'm sure the same. I don't know what you wanted to add, but I do plan to attend the October meeting. I'll give an update, obviously, at our November meeting to see where the draft is. But I'll turn it back to you, Renee.
Thank you very much, Tony. Any other additional comments from the staff or the commissioners?
No,
I would just like to say, go ahead. That was you, Mark.
I mean, I think
John?
yes, it's John. Yeah, I think Tony captured most of it. Yeah, they did have a public outreach meeting through planning and development. They're the ones spearheading this plan. But they did have a stakeholder meeting that I attended on Tuesday to give kind of like my feedback on stuff. And I believe Tony's right. They're going to have some sort of draft form in October and also collect more input at that point, and then have some sort of final draft come the winter time in December-ish. But no further dates that I'm aware of.
Thank you, John. I'd also like to just commend the team that is doing a really great job of data gathering from our members in our community. The Recreation Commission will continue to get the word out and help promote the upcoming draft meeting. I would encourage all of those listening to this meeting or the recording to let your voice be heard. You can contact John Gleason or Mark Wardley, both staff members of the Recreation Commission, if you need to find your way to get your input. And the information that Tony mentioned is also posted on the town of Barnstable's website. So a real great effort to reach out to our community so that our recreational needs are heard. So thank you, Tony. Any further comments? I'd like to acknowledge that we have two of our recreation commissioners join us. So Tim Luce, make yourself present.
I'm trying to, but I don't think you guys can see me or hear me.
We can hear you and we can see you. Yes.
Oh, okay. My thing's,
And
it's giving me a message saying that my microphone or camera are not working. So, okay, great.
and then Brendan, we can see your name, but we can't see you. You're probably commuting, but if you could just make yourself known as either a present or a thumbs up, we will put that in our minutes. But thank you both for joining us. Since we have all of the current recreation commissioners present, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our, I guess it was our August meeting, or was it July?
July.
Our July meeting. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
All right.
So moved.
Thank you. And then a second.
Second.
And all those in favor can say aye.
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 And I'd like to just thank Tony for leading that meeting for us and for the team with the annual rewards, which is one of my favorite meetings. Sorry that I was unable to attend. So we will move on to the agenda, and I believe, Mark, you are the first staff report member on.
All right, thank you, Renee, and good evening, everybody. My staff reports as follows. As John mentioned, our fall program registration begins this Wednesday for residents. And we currently, the staff and myself are doing some training on a new reservation and registration software that is being prepared to be rolled out this winter. That's kept us pretty busy. In ice news, our youth hockey season has begun officially this week. The three largest organizations have begun all their practices and will be moving into their full game schedule by the weekend of the 20th. Our Learn to Skate summer session saw 50 children over 4 various sessions all do well and pass their badges for the next session coming up this fall. And we did some painting and refreshing of the lower level areas of the rink, including some office spaces, locker rooms, a few other of the common areas completed over the summer in anticipation of our busy season. In the gym and youth center end, the end of the school year dance for 6th and 7th graders went pretty great this past June. We had over 110 kids from the BIS show up for that dance that evening, so that was pretty well. Our summer high school volleyball league was also went great this past summer. We had over 175 players, 13 Cape schools, and 19 teams over JV and varsity divisions ran out of the gym. That was a huge success. We did have a new adult summer basketball league ran by one of our old employees here, Matt McMorrow, who was employee of the year back when. He brought us the Cape Cod Basketball League. It was the first adult summer basketball league we've had out of this facility ever. That went great all summer long on Sunday nights with over 8 teams participating. They just finished up their championships this past weekend. And we also are in full swing for volleyball season with Sturgis East and West both starting their volleyball practices and games. There's a game going on right now, as a matter of fact. So everything's kind of in full swing back at the HYCC after a busy summer. But yeah, that's all. That's it for tonight from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Do we have any questions for Mark? It is really great to see the place back in full speed with the schools back and the teams using our facility. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to move right into John's report. John?
Good evening. Welcome back after a nice summer. But yeah, just want to go over a few things. Mark highlighted it. We will be switching over to a new online facility reservation, program reservation software system. And we've been talking about that in previous meetings. But during the summer months, I worked with our community service assistant director, Chris and Karen, to help kind of build that stuff with program locations and other information to kind of get it ready to go live coming up we won't start using it until winter registration, but we're trying to get it ready for the public to start seeing and using. Let's see, exciting news coming up, I think next week. We're sending Jack Kapanke and Kelly Crowley to the National Park and Rec Association conference in Orlando, Florida. So, they've been going to our state conference for a couple of years now, but they're ready to, hit the road and see the big time and get some information from all over the country to bring back to Barnstable. So I'm excited that they'll be going to that, which I've been to, I think, 3 times in the past. So I'm excited for them to go. Let's see. Also, during the summer months, there were some tennis nets in Osville that were kind of falling apart, and I purchased some new nets and installed those. Other than that, a lot of our stuff happened kind of at our beaches and our leisure program, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But beach-wise, we had a very busy and successful summer. We had a lot of great weather, a lot of sunshine. We had a bunch of events that occurred at our beaches this summer, mainly through the Highness Yacht Club, that abuts Veterans Beach. So there was a big 420 nationals. So 420 is a type of boat. There was a regular Highness Yacht Club regatta. There was a youth regatta. And then we had a beach soccer tournament where a business came in and kind of took over C Street Beach for a weekend. And that seemed to go very well. It was well attended by a lot of visitors that came in to the Cape for the weekend. We had our swim program that had roughly about 200 kids, and that ended after their 6 weeks with a carnival and a swim meet that was held at Calmus Beach. It was Calmus versus Douses, and I think the theme was it was bikers versus surfers, I believe, was the theme, and the kids had a great time. And the weather was beautiful. It was a fun event. Our sailing program grew again this year. We had 53 participants. We utilized our summer leisure program in our sailing that was new this year. Our summer leisure program attends the beach on a weekly basis. They go 2 to 3 times during the week. So my thought was to Michelle Davies, who runs our leisure program, why don't we take some of those kids and teach them how to sail during their beach trips? And we did that, and that added about 12 kids to the program. So we're trying to think of different ways to add to our programs and make it easier for people to learn how to swim and sail and do all those great things. Let's see. Our season ended on Labor Day. We staffed most of the locations with, supervisors and gate attendants. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough lifeguards to have a beach open until the end, but we were fairly successful with keeping sites open with lifeguards as long as we possibly could. I think we kind of stopped the last location about a week and a couple days prior to Labor Day, which was, I think, a little bit better than last year. But we had a great seasonal staff, from our beach supervisors down to our beach aides and everything in between. The staff was great. They worked hard and represented the town very well. We sold roughly 20,582 stickers in counting. I think that number was taken a couple weeks ago, and we still continue to sell stickers on a daily basis. Not as much as we do in May, June, and July and August, but we're still selling them periodically to people that need them. And then last but not least, in the aquatic world, we did, with the help of the Disability Commission, purchase new Moby mats, and we installed those at Calmus Beach, and we also did have them at Douses Beach. So overall, it was a great summer at the beaches. Lastly, program wise, our leisure program did sell out. We did do our great 7-week program, and that was headed up by Michelle Davies. That concluded on August 15th. A lot of great reviews from the parents and participants. They all had a blast. On August, I believe it was August 7th, they had a talent show that I attended a couple for about an hour or two, and I saw a couple camps perform their talents, and it was fun to see the kids show off their skills, and then have the other participants watch the other kids from the other locations. New program wise, Jack Kapenke started a new program called Cape Cod Scenic Tours, and that was a great program where Jack got in one of our recreation vans, took a bunch of kids to different scenic locations throughout the whole Cape. And I know we did a Facebook post, an Instagram post, maybe a couple weeks back about that. So there's some great pictures on our social media about some of the places they went. And I know that went very well. And then lastly, we do have our fall registration coming up this Wednesday for residents. It starts at 8:45 in the morning and is ongoing online 24/7 after that. And then in person during our business hours from 8:45 in the morning on the first day till 4:30 in the afternoon. But we had a great summer and looking forward to a great fall. But if you have any questions, be glad to answer those.
So John, I always am interested. Do we have any new programs that we're introducing this fall, or what are some of the popular ones that we're adding back?
Got me on the spot, but I want to say one of our new programs will be youth wrestling. So George and I were entertaining bringing that back last year, but we weren't able to use Barnstable High School to offer that program. But through Daniel Gracie Fitness, we're going to partner with them because they have a facility right around the corner from ours. and with mats, and they taught jujitsu last year for us, and they're going to teach wrestling as well. So it'll be a nice partnership where we can introduce youth wrestling back into the mix. So a long time ago, Mark used to head up the youth wrestling program, and it was a phenomenal program, but it just over time fell by the wayside, and we wanted to try to bring it back, and hopefully it will go well. So that's one highlight of a new program that we'll be offering. But our fall brochure is online. It's on our website and Mark's website to showcase all that the rec is offering and all that the HYCC has to offer.
Thank you, John. Any other questions? All righty, that is really great. I'm going to move on to a very brief update on the happenings at Sandy Neck. The one thing I'd like to highlight is that on September the 14th, which is a Sunday, from 9 to noon, the Sandy Neck Beach will have their annual coast sweep. And so for those that are interested in helping this beautiful facility be maintained, participate in that coast sweep, I would also like to encourage any of the students that are in need of volunteer hours to get out there and get those volunteer hours in early in the 2025-26 school year. So that is on Sunday, September the 14th, the coast sweep at our Sandy Neck Beach. There are also a few hikes scheduled for the month of September, and I would encourage you to go to the Sandy Neck website for their events. I'll just briefly tell you about a few of those today. So on the 9th, which is a Tuesday from 10 to noon, there'll be a hiking of the Terrapin Hatchlands. And then on the 10th of September, which is a Wednesday, from 10 to noon, there will be a fall migration hike, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's my update for our Sandy Neck Association. Any questions from the staff or the commissioners? All righty, so I'm going to move to our next liaison report, and that will be Tim with the Osterville playground update.
All right. Can you guys hear me still? Because this thing is acting weird. I'm just going to read, from the Community Preservation Committee on the 8th, in terms of the Osterville Playground Project. A letter of intent has been received from the DPW through the town manager's office, requesting additional funds in an amount of $400,000 to cover the full projected cost of the Osterville Playground Project. Initial funding for the Osterville Playground was approved in 2023 and subsequently was advanced to the design phase with input from the community, facilitated by the steering group overseeing design development. Playground equipment has been selected and construction documents are currently being prepared for the bidding process. Based on recent cost estimates, the project is projected to exceed the original budget. And that's all I've got.
Thank you, Tim. Are there any questions? Thank you for giving that liaison report.
No problem.
I would just like to say it's so great to hear the exciting activity taking place at the Osterville project. We can go back, I don't know when that project began, but it took a little time and it is now well underway. I can't wait for the ribbon cutting for that facility. Are there go ahead, any other questions?
Well, yeah, just there is a little more information on that as well. So at the same meeting, DPW did go and ask for some more CPC funds to add bathrooms at that location in Osterville, along with a outdoor basketball court / street hockey, to help with CIP money that the town will be getting, to kind of have that project be done. So hopefully we get the money to finish off the playground, and then to also finish off the bathrooms and the basketball court at the same time, or roughly around the same time. And then lastly, if you've driven by the Centerville Rec building, the playground is under construction. At the same CPC meeting, DPW did ask for $588,000 to renovate the field. They were already given money for the playground and the parking lot, but never received funds for the field, and they're starting the ask for the money for the field. So hopefully, when all said and done, the playground, the parking lot, and the field then also will be done, and then you can move on to some other location. So those are some good news that are coming up.
Thank you, John. Any other questions or comments? I do have one announcement that came in, so it was not on our agenda. The subcommittee of the town council is reviewing all of the town's commissioners and committees. So I'd ask each of the commissioners to put this date on your calendar. I will also send this out via email. They're going to talk to us on Tuesday, September the 17th at 4 p.m. I will be participating virtually, but I would encourage you to join if you're able to come in person. That would be great. If you're not able to come in person but can join via a Zoom meeting, that would also be appreciated. We're having such a hard time filling the seats for many of the committees. So this subcommittee is just looking at what our role is, maybe how we continue, maybe how we might combine with another committee, but what is the value that we bring forth under the Recreation Commission umbrella? Any questions?
Renee, the 17th, where is that meeting? What's the location of that meeting?
It's probably going to be at the town hall. They haven't given me the detailed location yet. So as soon as I get the location there, I will send that. Excuse me for having my phone here. I will give that information to the commissioners.
But just to confirm, it's the 17th at 4 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That much I do know. But again, there's also a summary report that I've been asked to put together on behalf of the Recreation Commission for the last 2 years. I think we did a short report when we did our road trip. I'll pull that together, send that out to the commissioners and staff. Feel free to add anything or comment, but I'd like to get that report before this meeting to Lynn Point. Okay. Any other questions? All righty. We will have a moment here for open public comment. And seeing none, our next meeting will be in, I love it when it's on here, so I don't have to, it's on Monday, November the 3rd. And we do have one confirmed guest speaker. And Tim, can you tell who that speaker will be since you helped get it?
That speaker will be Ross Jacola, who's the varsity football coach at Barnstable High School.
Oh, great.
And he's happy to be here that day.
And our goal is it's going to be the early part of November. I'd love to drum up community support for our classic Thanksgiving game, which I hope to attend and encourage the recreation commissioners to also attend. So are there any other comments or? All righty, hearing none, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you via Zoom on September. And I will also ask folks to give feedback before we meet. I know Brendan, I'd definitely love to hear
Tech
some
issues.
feedback.
I'm so sorry, Renee. I'm so sorry.
Say what?
I've been dealing with tech issues. Every single time I try to talk, everything just shuts off. Hopefully you can
Okay.
even hear me. But
I
yeah.
can hear you, but
We'll talk.
Brendan, I would love to either, if you can make that meeting that hour, it would be great because you are one of our long-standing recreation commissioners, and you also are someone who has been with the recreation your entire life. So I think that longevity has something to say about the value we've provided thus far, but I think the more important issue is what is the value we can provide to the staff and to the town moving forward.
I'll try to. I'll be remote, but I'll try to be there for you, Renee. All right.
Thank you so much. And John and Mark, I always like to thank you for the work that you do at one of my favorite places in town, the Hyannis Youth Community Center. So with that, I'd like to close the meeting and thank everyone for joining us. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Thanks, guys.